What's up everyone? So today I'm going to be doing a winterization of the Tiffin Wayfarer. I wasn't able to get any specifics online for this model. It is the 2019 Tiffin Wayfarer FW. A lot of the winterization ports and the way that it looks in the back is different from what Tiffin shows online and what from other people are showing. So I just wanted to do a quick video showing what it looks like. So let's get to it and get started. Okay, so here is the FW model, and you can see this is what we're working with, and this is the layout of all the plumbing in this unit. This Anderson panel here has the cold and the hot water. It has sanitize, city fill for the tank, normal, and then city fixtures there. And then the hot water is typically on normal, playing around with it, and then it has the water bypass, the water heater. It does have an area to turn on the water pump here, on and off. This particular one doesn't work, so I'm gonna have to do it from the inside. First thing was in the back, you have these two valves for the hot and the cold water. You want to make sure that both of these are open and the water will start dripping out from there. Then you want to go around and you want to open up all the valves while this is on normal to start, and then I'm going to switch it over to city fixtures. City fixtures, so normal is typically running off of the onboard water tank. City fixtures is typically running off of the city water coming in. Open up all the valves on the inside as well. We have cold water on there, and the cold water on here, and then these are already in the position. Now let's come back, turn this valve to city fixtures. I don't know why this is so tough to turn. Let me know in the comments if anybody else with this particular layout, with this Anderson panel, I can turn it. It takes a lot of effort, but my fear is that something's gonna break. There's just so much torque going on that. Anyway, city fixtures, open this up, and yeah, it looks like it's pretty dry. So the next thing I'm going to do is make a connection and put my air hose on here. I usually do 25 psi. I'm going to connect my air hose, kind of jerry rig it and tape it up because I don't have all the fittings and I need to winterize it today because it's a beautiful day and I don't want to be doing this in the cruddy weather. Okay, so my plan now is to take this hose here. This hose has been terrible for connecting to the water service at the campsites, just kinks. I usually have this slinky hose. It's nice and compact, but I'm going to sacrifice this hose, cut a section out and use a connection for my airline, and then also I can take the other end and put it inside one of these bottles and suck the antifreeze through. I'm going to take off the filtration here. Alright, now just tighten that, put that back on for now. And let's go over and see the DYOR tankless water heater. Okay, this particular model has the DYOR tankless water heater. It's the model GSWH2. What we're going to do here is take this pressure relief valve, pull it down, and I hear it draining on the other side a little bit. And I did turn this off, and I've heard in other videos not to turn this off, but I was reading through in my manual and it did say to turn this off, otherwise it could burn out the circuit. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see what it says here in the manual. So it says turn off water heater before draining to prevent burning the element out. Okay. And then it goes into when the tank's drained, replace the drain plug. I don't see any drain plugs. This isn't the other Truma hot water system, so I'm not seeing much. I'm going to look inside and see if there's any valves that we need to turn. On the inside, there's not a lot of access here on the FW. As you can see, you have this panel down here that gives you limited access because the tank is literally behind here. There's no panel. It would have been really nice if they put a panel up in here so you could reach down, but there may not be a reason you need to go in there. So let's just check it out. So I cut a piece of this hose off. Let's get it connected. Now I have this section of hose here, and I have my air compressor, and to my air compressor I have this fitting. There's probably different ways to do this, but essentially this just allows me to blow air out. You want to make sure your pressure regulator is down a little bit above 20. Okay, you can see how this hose just made a seal, and now I can put air in. Before I put air in, I want to close all the faucets again and have them individually done one at a time. I have the water heater in bypass mode, sanitize for the cold water selected. I have my air. I have it set at 24. So the only water that should come out right now is on here. Let's try. Yep. Well, I guess it's coming out of the bottom because I have these valves open over here, so that's better. Let's see if I open up hot. Now let's go inside. If we open up all of the faucets and do it again, see if it makes a difference. Let's let it rip. Sounds empty to me. The next thing I'm doing is turning off both of the valves in the back. So both of those are in the closed position, and I have opened up all of the faucets on the inside. Now, with just over 20 psi, I'm releasing some air into the system. Oop. Okay. Looks like that took whatever residual was in there. The water come out of the sink here. Not much water here. And a little bit of water in the shower. Alright, so I feel pretty confident that the next step is to put the antifreeze into the system. So let's get things set up and put it in. Next step is going to be disconnecting the air, freeing up the end of this hose. Alright, so just like that. Make sure that, like I said, both valves are closed in the back. 1, 2 in the off position. you're in winterize with water heater bypass. Everything is closed, and then you can click on your water pump here, and as soon as you click it on, we'll start pumping antifreeze through the lines. Then you want to go through and open each of these lines individually until antifreeze starts coming through. Like I mentioned, the switch isn't working outside. I need a new switch, so I'm gonna have to do it from in here. So if I click the water pump on, I open these up, it should be pumping. I don't see it pumping yet. Alright, it's definitely pumping outside, so probably just need a little bit more patience. Turn it back on. Oh, getting some pink. There we go. Alright. So what's happening is it's filling up where the water filter was first. So that takes a good amount of fluid to fill up before it's going to make it to any of the faucets. So let's do the next one. We want to get it pumping until it's a nice steady stream. That means the lines are full. And then let's get the shower. Bottle's empty, so let's get another bottle on here. And once you do clean it up from the pan, and then just did the outside one. Only question mark that I have in my head is if there was some other drain that I needed to do on the Girard tankless. From the front, there is no other drain valves. From the back side, trying to even get to that location, not good access. Let me look into this and let's figure this out. All right, so this is what I came up with. I'm going to pump antifreeze through my heater. Since it is just an on-demand heater, so I turn this to normal and we'll go inside and pump some through. My thoughts behind it are, since it's just an on-demand heater, it doesn't hold any water like our Winnebago View had one, and it had just a tank. It probably would have taken, I don't know, 4 or 5 gallons of fluid before it even started to flow through. So it makes sense to have a bypass, but on here, since it's a tankless, it's just going to go through the lines, and I don't think it's going to hurt anything. But it's much better than not putting any antifreeze through it. I think that's when I'd have problems. So let's turn this on, run some antifreeze through it, and then I think we should be good. Okay, it worked, but probably don't want to have this pressure regulator open, because then it just drains everywhere. Oh boy. Make sure you do the hot water and the cold water. All right, there we go. All right, now let's get our jug. Just make sure that the traps are filled, which they should be. And then clean up your area. All right, so I have the rig on an angle. I moved it, and this is one of the first things I did was drain this tank here, but now that it's on an angle, it's starting to spit out a little bit more. Your gravity fill. I'm gonna open this up and put a gallon of the antifreeze, just so it sits in here. Something to do on the Tiffin Wayfarer FW is they have this really convenient battery disconnect right here, and it's by the brake pedal and the gas pedal. So you can disconnect this, wait at least 10 minutes as the sign says here. That will be helpful to prevent the coach battery from draining. And another thing, okay, when we open up the battery box, here we have a couple batteries, but in the back, right here, okay, this is a fuse. If you click this button and then have that yellow reset drop down, that's going to disconnect the power as well, so you want that off. And then really convenient on these Winterize, they show bright blue when they're on, but they can go into a sleep mode. So if you click and hold both of these at the same time, can't do it with the camera in my hand, but you click and hold them both at the same time for about 5 seconds until they go dim, the light goes dim, you're good for storage, all right? Another thing is to give your RV a nice cleaning, a deep cleaning before you put it away. It's gonna be put away fresh, it's gonna smell good. You're gonna be very pleased when you come back. This is actually in the process of cleaning it all out, but you're gonna be so happy when you clean your RV. It's just gonna smell fresh, it's gonna be new, and you're just gonna wanna go RVing again. Well, that's it, it was pretty simple. Let me know in the comments what you would have done differently. Let's get real practical for a second. If we wanted to go to the south, de-winterize, and then on our way back to the north, say we didn't have an air compressor and we wanted to winterize our lines for when we come back, could we buy 3 gallons of the antifreeze mix without blowing out the lines with air, run it through the system, the same process that we just did, and would it be sufficient? I feel it would be. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that, if it's possible, advisable. Maybe there's a better way. But until the next video, I hope this was helpful, and we'll catch you later. We'll see you on the next one.